What's up, everybody? Is law firm SEO dead? That's the question that we are going to be answering for you today in today's live video. Now, before I go into this, what I'm doing is every single day I'm doing a live video where I'm answering questions that you have about growing your law firm, about growing your business. If you have any questions, leave them below this video in the comment and I will answer it in a future video. Now, the question that somebody asked me yesterday is law firm SEO dead? And I'm going to tell you the answer is definitively, yeah, it's pretty much dead. But there's something you can do instead that works even better, right? So I want to tell you a story. A couple of years ago, we had a client, an attorney named Todd. He was a DUI attorney in Orange County, California. Now, he has since gone on to sell his law firm and retire in Hawaii, which is a really, really cool story that I'm not going to get into in this video. But what's interesting is that we learned very important lesson with him when we were working on his law firm. So he hired us to do SEO for his law firm. And as you know, I own a marketing agency. I do SEO, we do websites, we do PPC, we do social media ads, we do all that type of stuff, right? But he hired us because he wanted to get his law firm on the first page of Google for the most important keywords like Orange County DUI lawyer, DUI attorney, Orange County, all those keywords, like basically any keyword that a DUI attorney in Orange County, California could dream of ranking for, right? So when he was at the bottom of page 2 when he hired us, and then very quickly we got him number 1 in the organic listings for Orange County DUI attorney and all the DUI attorney keywords. And we also got him number 1 in the Google Maps, the Google 3-pack, right? Now, what's crazy is that his phone was ringing. He was getting 50 qualified DUI leads per week. So, I mean, you can imagine how much money this guy was making. It was absolutely nuts. Now, here's the thing about Orange County, California. Orange County, California is extremely competitive, right? So what happened? He was crushing it. And other DUI attorneys know how valuable this real estate is. They know how valuable it is being number 1 in the organic listings and also organic number 1 in the maps, right? So what happened? One of his competitors called Google and reported his listing as fraudulent, as fake. So Google shut it down, right? So Google shut it down one day and immediately his phone stopped ringing. His phone just stopped ringing. Now, here's the interesting thing, and this is a very important lesson that we learned. He was still number 1 organically below the maps. So if you picture the Google Maps, the Google search results, right? Here's what happens. You search Orange County DUI attorney. At the top, you've got the search box, right? And then below that, you've immediately got the LSA ads, right? Then below that, you've got some pay-per-click ads, right? Those are the paid ads. Below that, you've got a map with 3 listings in it, sometimes 4 listings if there's an ad in the map pack. And then below that, you have the organic listings, right? He was number 1 in the organic listings for Orange County DUI attorney, Orange County DUI lawyer, Orange County, DUI lawyer near me, like every single keyword, right? But he was gone from the maps. And because he was gone from the maps, his phone calls just died. I mean, it was like a lead balloon. It was just, it went from 50 calls a week to 0, right? So we called Google. We got his listing reinstated because it was a real listing. It was a legitimate listing. And what do you think happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. What happened was his phone calls came right back, like they never shut up, right? So that taught us that SEO in the organic sense is pretty much dead, right? It doesn't result in phone calls. Maybe it results in traffic, but what do you care about? You care about phone calls, you care about clients, right? So SEO is, got a message here, SEO is not what you want to focus on. What you want to focus on and what we focus our clients on is maps, organic maps listings, right? How do you get your law firm listed in the maps? And that is what our entire SEO department focuses on, is getting you in the maps, because that's where phone calls come from, right? So how do you get in the maps? Well, there's a few things you can do. Now, the easiest thing you can do right now, nowadays, is get more reviews on a consistent basis that contain words, phrases, keywords, synonyms that are all related to your law firm. It used to be that you could basically just change your law firm's name to have your keyword in it. And, you could have it say Bill Smith, personal injury attorney, Orlando, Florida, in your name of your listing, in the name of your listing. And that would be enough to rank you on the first page of Google in the maps, right? Which was a terrible way that Google did this, right? And finally, about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago, they finally fixed this bug where you have to do more than just put your keyword in the name of your business, right? So now what they do is they look at relevancy from your reviews, right? So it's actually, a lot of people have been reporting that it's a lot harder to get reviews posted. Like clients will leave a review and it won't get posted, right? Well, the reason why is because Google is now weighing reviews much more heavily in terms of their impact on your rankings. So here's how you do this, right? What you want to do is first of all, you want to get more reviews on a consistent basis. That's one of the most important things you can do, right? More reviews on a consistent basis. But the second most important thing that you can do is you can make sure that these reviews contain words, phrases, keywords, synonyms, excuse me, I burped. Words, phrases, keywords, synonyms that are related to your practice area and your geographical location. Well, how do you do that? How do you make people do that without saying, hey, when you leave that review, would you please make sure to say DUI attorney 7 times, right? Don't do that. That's spam. Here's what you do. You ask them questions, right? So what we always do is we tell our clients, send your clients an email that says something like, a lot of times people don't know exactly what to write in a review. So we found that the best reviews answer the following 5 questions and then give them these questions. Question number 1, what was the problem you had before you hired our law firm? Question number 2, why did you pick our firm over all the other firms available to you? Question number 3, what did we do for you? Question number 4, what were the results? Question number 5, how did these results impact your life? And if they answer those 5 questions, then a couple of things are going to happen. First of all, they're going to get all those words, phrases, keywords, synonyms that are related to your practice area and your geographical location. They're going to get them in your reviews so that when someone searches for personal injury attorney or car accident lawyer or DUI attorney or family law attorney or bankruptcy attorney or whatever it is near you, Google is going to look at your profile as being much more relevant because you can say whatever you want, but when other people say it about you, it's much more likely to be believed. So Google's much more likely to believe that you are a personal injury attorney and a car accident attorney or whatever type of attorney you are if other people are saying it, right? So that's thing number 1. Thing number 2 is it's actually going to result in you getting more reviews because a lot of times people don't leave reviews because they just don't know what to say. Like writer's block is a real thing, right? Another thing, a third thing, a lot of times if you've ever had this happen to you where you get a review but it doesn't actually post, then what ends up happening is Google, the reason that that's happening is because 1, it's probably not a very long review, right? Google is looking for certain trust factors before posting a review because of the fact that now it impacts rankings. And when it impacts rankings, that's when people are going to try to game the system, right? So what this does is this makes sure that you have a much longer review, a much more believable review that is much more likely to get posted because now it's a review that's actually, a much more high quality review, right? So that's one of the things you can do. Another thing you can do is make sure that that's one of the things you can do to get more, to rank better in the Google Maps. Another thing you can do is make sure that your Google My Business profile, actually it's called Google Business Pro. They change the name every 2 weeks. It used to be Google My Business. Now I think it's Google Business, and next week it'll be something else, right? But another thing you can do is make sure that your profile is completed 100%. Go into your Google Business profile and make sure that is 100% completed, right? Fill out every single category. Now, another cool thing that we're seeing that is very, very, very impactful in getting your Google My Business profile to show up in the maps is completing your Google website. Now, a lot of people don't even know that's a thing. A lot of people don't even know that there's such a thing as a Google website. And ask your marketing company if they have completed your Google website. If they haven't completed your Google website, then I hate to break it to you, it's time to get a new marketing company, right? Because that's like basic Google, that's like basic maps optimization, right? That needs to happen. What's another way? Getting relevant backlinks to your website. So getting other websites to link to you. That's another way that you can increase your maps listings. Now, some of this also borderlines over the SEO, like organic SEO. But the reason why is because your website still has a very big impact on where your Google My Business profile ranks, right? So there's a lot of stuff that we do for our clients that gets our clients to rank in the Google Maps that's actually on their website, right? So let me think. What else is there? There's the reviews. There's another one. Another really, really, really important thing is to complete all of your local business listings online, right? So you want to complete your Facebook page and your Yelp page and your Avo profile and your FindLaw profile and your Justia, and you want to go through and you want to find all these different places that you can have your business listed, right? All of your business listings. Now you want to make sure that you have your name, your address, and your phone number exactly the same way everywhere that it's written. Now I know the next question I'm going to get is, what about a tracking number? What do I do about a tracking number? Well, here's the thing. On your Google My Business profile, you can have multiple phone numbers, right? You can have your main phone number as a secondary phone number if you want to use a tracking number for your for your main phone number. So if you want to see how many phone calls am I getting specifically from the Google 3-pack, you can set a tracking number as your primary phone number, as long as one of the additional phone numbers that you have in there is your main phone number, and that's the one that you can put on all of your business citations, right? So there's obviously a lot to this. We obviously have an entire business dedicated to getting law firms ranked in the Google Maps. But these are some tips where if you do that, if you get reviews, if you fill out your local citations, if you complete your Google business profile 100%, if you do your Google My Business website, you're going to have such better luck, and you're going to have much more likely to show up. Another big part about completing your Google My Business profile that a lot of people forget is adding pictures and things like that to your profile as well. So let's see. There's a couple questions in here I'm going to bring up. Let's see what we got. All right. So I don't know who said this, but the question is, doesn't the Google website use your domain? Good question. There's a setting in there to make sure that the Google website does not use your domain, right? So you have to be careful, because if you hit the wrong button, then what's going to happen is the Google website's going to replace your website as your main website. Now, it's very easy to avoid that. Just make sure you hit the right setting. Good question. All right, next question. So if you have a website, what URL are you supposed to use? Use your homepage. That's what you want to do. Now, here's the only exception. Let's say you have multiple locations. So let's say you're a DUI attorney in Florida, and you have an Orlando office and you have a Tampa office, right? You should have two different landing pages you should have a different landing page for each location. So you should have your Tampa Google business profile and your Orlando Google business profile. Now, let's say Orlando is your main location, right? The main location, your homepage, so lawfirmwebsite.com should be optimized for your main location. So it should be optimized for Orlando, right? Now, you should have a second page on your website that's completely optimized for Tampa. So it can be lawfirmwebsite.com/Tampa, right? That URL should be used on your Tampa Google business profile listing. So that is the answer to that question. So cool. Well, I think that this gives you a lot of information right now. This answers the question, is law firm SEO dead? Yes, law firm SEO pretty much is dead. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the Google Maps are very much alive. And if you want your phone to explode off of the hook, and by the way, that attorney I told you about at the beginning of this, he was able to sell his website for nearly 7 figures because it ranked in the maps. He had his Google business profile. He had everything optimized perfectly. He had an asset on the first page of Google that actually made the phone ring. What's cool about that is that when that happens, you have a very real asset that's as real as the back porch that I'm sitting on in my house. I'm at my house right now, right? It is a real asset that is worth real money that you can actually sell. So in addition to his law firm, he sold his website, and his website added almost $1 million of value to the sale, right? So it's SEO, maps optimization. It's an investment. It's not an expense, because it ends up creating an asset that you can sell later one day. So I hope this video is helpful. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I will talk to you guys soon.